What's up guys, Jimmy Chang here with Andrew, and today we have a commuter scooter. We've been reviewing a lot of these high performance, high powered scooters, and you guys have been asking us, well, what about the commuter daily driver scooters? And that's what we have here. This is the EVOLV Terra from Urban Machina, also carried by Rev Rides, and it is a low maintenance commuter scooter that's supposed to be a lot of fun to ride. Let's go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and bust this thing out. So it's 52.9 pounds, not too heavy, can be lifted with one hand. It should be really simple setup, just opening up this clamp. I do love these clamps they always put on these EVOLV scooters. They're not just a little clamp, it's got a hook in there. Makes it a lot easier to lift and assemble the scooter. The nice thing with these simple commuter scooters is out of the box, they're pretty much fully assembled. We're not really having to do much except just adjust it to our likings and tighten a couple bolts. Now that we have it fully assembled, we're gonna do a walkthrough from top to bottom. Coming up here, we have the brake lever for the drum brakes. They're pretty strong, and like we said earlier, they require almost little to no maintenance. We have a bell right here. I think it did get damaged upon shipping. Urban Machina is awesome. I'm sure if we hit them up, they would send us a replacement bell, but we don't really need one. For these two buttons, we have the red and yellow buttons that we've seen on the past scooters. Moving on over to the center, we have the collapsible handlebars. They collapse. You can drop the stem here as well. So it's adjustable for heights of children and for adults. Lock it into place. Pull those out and they pop right into place. I prefer this black and white display to the QSS4 display. They look almost identical, but this black and white just looks a little bit cleaner to me than the colors like the red and green that we've seen in the past. We have these nice little handlebar grips. These are nice and soft and plush, and you have bolts to hold them in place so they don't spin on you when you're riding. The silicone black top, you have the Terra branding. On the side, we have these glow bars. I don't think there's any actual LEDs inside the bar. I think the light bulbs are just probably from here, huh? Mm-hmm. From the front. It gives kind of a cool accent, especially at night. During the day, it's a little bit harder to tell. The other thing too is because it's a solid plexiglass bar, you don't have to worry about this getting damaged during a crash or if you're to hit a curb. Well, if you're gonna be doing any type of night riding, you're gonna want to definitely upgrade to better lights that go on the handlebar. Kick plate comes with a nice handle, and then coming back here, we've got this angular fender, which reminds me of some of the VSET scooters, and it looks like we have good coverage there. And then this is an 8.5 inch solid tire. You don't have to pump it up, and you're never gonna have to worry about flats. Inside of the motor is the disc brake. Very simple to maintenance. You can literally just tighten this and this will tighten the way this brakes for you. But you should be able to get a few thousand miles without ever having to replace brake pads. Finally, the kickstand is just your standard kickstand. Has a nice little foot on the bottom. Easy action. There's a simple disconnect on the rear motor in case you ever need to do a tire change. Really simple, just pop off that motor cable. Now you have full access to the tire. Let's get our gear on. Okay. We have our safety gear on. Before we get riding though, let's go over the folding and unfolding of this scooter. This is by far one of my favorite safety mechanisms for a folding scooter that's a commuter scooter. It's got this little latch on here, so with this down, even if this fells, you're never gonna be able to get this to collapse on you. So this is a really awesome safety feature. You're gonna pop this up, pull that, it's gonna drop. Should shorten this up a little bit. And then it locks into place when folded. So easy to pick up, easy to get into a car or to public transportation. And to unlatch it, it's really simple. You're just gonna pop that open. Make sure that pops, okay? You gotta hear that pop or else it can collapse on you. But the great thing is even if you don't set it up correctly, putting this down there should prevent this from folding on you. What are some other scooters out there that are dual motor commuter type scooters? This really reminds me of the VSET 9 Plus. It's got a slightly smaller motor, so the VSET 9 Plus is dual 650 watt motors, where this is a dual 600 watt motor system. All right, we're gonna open this up and then we're gonna get riding. Yeah. Man, this scooter is really impressive. I'm so surprised how quick the scooter is. It's really quick. It said the max is 31 miles per hour, but on the display I got it up to 35 and I felt like it could even go faster. I mean, this is very smooth. The acceleration
is very, very controlled. I like that. It feels very comfortable. And this is a nice scooter. I am pleasantly surprised. Looking at this, I thought this was just gonna be a VSET clone, but now I feel like it's more smooth than the VSETs. And good power. Yeah, that thing accelerates. This thing hauls. This little guy is surprising. Yeah, I love the throttle. Is this sine wave?
I don't think so, but it might be.
How do they make it so smooth and not sine wave? This is, someone tell me that. This does not feel like a square wave controller. It doesn't have that jerkiness. The EVOLV Terra is a very surprising scooter. There's a lot to like about this. It's a portable commuter, but this is a lot of fun. It's very nimble, it's very smooth, and yet you can get this going pretty fast. It's pretty peppy. You know, I like the black and the gray features. I like the handlebar grips. They feel good, they feel tight, they're solid. The throttle was nice and smooth. This display is decent. I do like the grayscale coloring there, but you know, it is hard to see in direct sunlight, but it's not any worse than any of the other displays of this genre. The cable management is very well done. Folded nicely as Andrew showed you. You definitely need to use the kick plate when you're riding, just because it does have power, especially when you want to go fast. This is good. And the fact that you can use this as a handle to pick it up. What about you, Andrew? What are your thoughts?
For me, it's just the power of this scooter. I jumped on it expecting it to be similar to the last EVOLV scooter we rode, but this thing just picked up really quickly. I was so surprised on the power for just being a dual 600 watt motor scooter. There's the Cabo Mantis, that's a dual 500 watt scooter. Can't even touch the speed of the scooter. You have solid tires, 0 flats. People hate dealing with flats, especially on scooters. I just love the overall design of EVOLV scooters too. They're much more unique looking than some of the other scooters out there. There's a lot of rebranding going on in this space, but what I love about Urban Machina is they've developed the EVOLV scooter to look unique, feel unique, and overall I'm just really impressed with what a good package this is for such a small scooter. Another pro to this scooter is it can be adjusted for all different heights. So if you're a shorter rider or a taller rider, you can drop it all the way down, and you can pull it all the way up for people like me who are 6 feet tall.
But no scooter is perfect, and we're gonna keep riding, and at our next stop, we're gonna talk about the things that could improve about the EVOLV Terra.
Those are pretty good for drum brakes.
Let's talk about the things that we don't like about the scooter, because no scooter is perfect.
Biggest thing for me is these cheap red and yellow buttons. I hate these scooter buttons. We need to get rid of these for good. Other thing is this charging port in the front. It is a little bit obnoxious. So I'm not a big fan of charging ports being in the very front like this. If you have the charging port in there and you forget it's in there, you can easily break it. And then this display does get a little bit washed out, but most scooter displays do get washed out in direct sunlight.
The lighting on the side, I think it's a good attempt. We've seen this before on prior EVOLV scooters, but it's just not very bright. You can't even tell it's on unless it's pretty dark out.
To add to the lighting issue of the side lights, the front facing lights are very low to the ground and they're not super bright. So if you're going to be doing a lot of night riding, you definitely want to get an attachment light for your handlebars.
We're going to keep riding, and while we ride, we'll talk about who we think this scooter's for.
I think this is an excellent choice. Well, I know it's an excellent choice for anybody looking for a dependable commuter scooter who doesn't want to deal with flats, tired of adjusting brakes. This is a scooter for you because it's pretty much maintenance free.
And for me, someone who's looking for a portable commuter scooter that's powerful and fun, this is it, all right? Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.